Hello everyone, Preston here with another video here on my channel, Prowlix Art. Today we're going to be working on a fan art for Final Fantasy 16 with Clive and Jill. I love them so much. They're just the best ship. But we're going to get right on into it, and I will talk about the process a little bit, as well as talk about my feelings of the game Final Fantasy 16 and what I feel about it and how it inspired me with this piece. So let's get started. To start off, we're going to be using my line art videos, little sketch in line art for my last video about how to draw line art or how I personally do line art. That video is in the link down below and, in my channel if you want to check that out. But with this piece, I enjoyed it so much, and I enjoyed working on this because it's something that I was rooting for the entire time playing Final Fantasy 16. No spoilers, but I was rooting for this, except for what they may bring into the game in the future, because from what I know, this game is a full-fledged out game that doesn't need a DLC, but they announced that it could bring a DLC, so it's kind of like the full meal and then you get a dessert on the side, which I'm glad games are going back to that, or at least Square Enix is going back to that point with their games. But with this piece, I enjoyed working on it a lot. It's been a while since I've worked on a full-fledged illustration like this, where it's not just one character and a plain background. It has some color, it has depth, it has two characters, it has a story to it. I love these kind of illustrations when I get the chance to work on them, because these are story-driven illustrations. These are narrative-driven illustrations. Now, for those that don't know about Final Fantasy 16, which you probably do because it's everywhere on media, everywhere. Its ads have been everywhere for the past month. It has been a month since it's been out. I think it's been enough time for me to actually give a good, solid review. Now, I am on my second playthrough of this game, and it is full-on spectacle, story, and emotions. It is driven by those things, and I love it. That is one of the things that made me love Final Fantasy to begin with, is the story and the emotions that come from it. And growing up playing every single Final Fantasy game, this has just been an accumulation of all of the Final Fantasy games from 1 to now 16. Even the spin-offs have each one added its own little flair to the next one, and each time they added something, they made it more extravagant, and I think this is the accumulation of all of that, with huge kaiju summon fights, which I love the fact that there's kaiju level fights. I think one of my favorite fights was in the mid boss fight. That's probably my favorite. And I just enjoyed it so much. I'm trying really hard not to give spoilers. I just think it is a well-rounded game that needs to be played by at least everyone. But I actually enjoyed the gameplay. I know a lot of people that were fans of the originals didn't really like the gameplay of this one, but I enjoyed it because there was the accumulation from 15, heck, even 13 was starting to get into this type of gameplay. And I mean, Kingdom Hearts had this gameplay style, and it just made sense that they developed the action-esque gameplay into the newest edition of Final Fantasy. And that's just one of the factors. But what really drove me into buying this, because beforehand I was kind of on the fence of buying it until I played the demo. And the reason that I loved it was because it wasn't the stereotypical JRPG that had a few roughed out characters and few three-dimensional characters and a bunch of 2D characters. This game, just in the demo alone, had so many fleshed out characters that each one had their own story, and you could pause the game to read about their stories. It was just wonderful. And to bounce off of that, the story between Jill and Clive from start to finish was just so heartwarming and sad and happy, and it just made me cry, and it made me excited, and it made me worried. It was just full-on development of their characters and their story, and I enjoyed that. I'm trying to stay away from spoilers again, but it was really good. I think this image is probably the most spoilers you'll probably get, and that's, even then, this is meh. I don't know how many people do side quests. I did all of the side quests. I did all of the item quests. I did everything as much as I could, because I just could not get enough of this game. It was so pretty and I enjoyed it. And that's kind of why I do these type of illustrations, because I am trying to make sure that you guys know who I am and what I have emotions towards, and that's kind of what the basis of fan art is. And that's where I think a lot of people have driven away from fan art a lot, but it has influenced me. Final Fantasy is one of the main influences in my life. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I want to work for Square Enix. I know there's a lot of people, and that's really bad advice to work for a specific company, but I want to work for them because I feel that they bring out so many emotions in their stories that I want to help with that. I want to help create the story with everything. And that's why I'm trying to improve my skills so I can do that with full confidence and work with Square Enix. And I mean, that's something that can be done from anywhere. But yeah, this game was so pretty though. I enjoyed playing it. Yeah, the artwork for this game, just phenomenal, as always. It's just so crazy to see the different levels of creativity and sceneries. Oh my goodness, they're so gorgeous. The implementation of negative space with the mother crystals and the power of the kaijus and how they formed around the world and with the world was just so cool. And I am excited to see what the next installment for the Final Fantasy franchise will be and eventually could be, because oh my goodness, it looks so pretty, and I'm so excited to see where Final Fantasy will go and where Square Enix will go, because this is just the beginning. I feel, I know it's been on for like what, 30 years now, for 30, 25, 30, it's close to 30 years that Square Enix has been working on the Final Fantasy games, and I enjoy all of it. But with that, I think you guys should all check this piece out, and I thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you guys at the end of it. Thank you everyone for watching this video today. It's great to see some other fans of Final Fantasy, and I honestly enjoyed working on this piece. It is one of my favorite ships in video game history of all time so far, and Final Fantasy 16 has become one of my favorite games. With that, please comment down below what your thoughts are of Final Fantasy 16, or what your favorite Final Fantasy game is, and like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And I will see you guys again next time. Bye!